Hello, you guys. It is your girl Shema here with you guys to help you out. So, just posting this little video uh, on how to position yourself to meet the guy that you're trying to meet. How to position yourself to meet the guy that you're trying to meet. How do I meet this guy? Where do I find this guy? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some simple steps to take to begin to transition yourself. So if you've been following my videos and you've been putting in the work, then you probably, I don't know where you're at in your path on your personal development and, working on yourself to attract the man that you really want. But I'm going to put this out there so you kind of know the next steps to take to getting there. Excuse me. And some of the things that I did and am still doing. Repositioning myself to be around those people that fit me, my group, my peeps. So with your personal development, okay, if you have already targeted what your core issues are, what your flaws are, the things that have been causing you to sabotage your relationships, if you have put in the work and you've changed things in your daily habits, your patterns, the way you speak to a man, what you say to a man, how you speak, the way you deal with him, just things, whether it's, you have some control issues or you have some self-esteem issues or you're still holding on to baggage from previous relationships or even from your childhood that is causing you to sabotage this relationship you have with this guy. Hopefully you've been working on that stuff, identifying that. If you have not worked on that and you have not identified those things, then hit me up, shoot me a message here on YouTube, or go to my Facebook page or LinkedIn page, Shema Ladd, Premarital Personal Development Coach. And we'll get you started with a consultation and get you started with some coaching sessions or some things to unstick you so that you can move forward to get that relationship that you're looking for. Okay, so if you've done that and you're on the roll with that, here is how to position yourself to meet the guy that you're looking for. And I'm not going to say Tinder or, Plenty of Fish or Bumblebee or all the, the wonderful online ways to meet a person. But position yourself into the environments that are going to fit you. That's step one. So that's easier said than done. I can say that now, and if you have not been putting in the work and you try to position yourself there, you're going to position yourself in an environment that you're already in, that is not working for you, that things that you need to change. And if you watch the video that I did for Valentine's Day, you'll remember hearing me say, if you're not willing to put the work in, you're not going to get that. You're going to change and become a new person as you change your habits, as you change your mindset, as you change your friends. You're going to turn into a whole different person. So, now is not the time to get into that relationship if you haven't done the work, because you're introducing someone to this person who you no longer even really want to be, or you're not going to be through this transitional period. Okay, so you want to work on those things that we just discussed a minute ago. Once you start working on those things, so say one of the things is you're controlling, okay, and you have to set up steps to where you're able to recognize when you're being controlling. You know when to stop, when to cut that off, and you know what to replace into that spot besides being controlling or insecure, manipulative. All these things that unfortunately women tend to almost naturally have. we can be devious at times. So, if you've done that work and you've gotten that far, that's great. So, position yourself. So, good men. Okay, if you know that, I'll give you an example. I'll just use myself an example, and you can kind of fill in the blanks for yourself wherever you fall in that spectrum. So, okay, so for me, when I know through the years, when I've wanted to upgrade or I've wanted to transition or do something, I dug into whatever that was, and I got into whether it was schooling, education, coaching, or just a meetup group. I started positioning myself in those places. So if you know you want a man who is a businessman, or you want a guy that is into, whatever they're into, art, music, architecture, whatever it is, agriculture, then, position yourself in those places where those people hang out at. Even with your gym, okay, so normally I would go to a recreation center. That's normally what I would do. I would go to a rec center. Okay, nothing's wrong with a rec center. Okay, but if I know I want to meet people that are a little bit more athletic, maybe people that are a little bit more active in capitalism or whatever it is, I know that if I go to a gym, maybe like Gold's Gym, or if I go to a higher end gym where people have to pay, maybe they're paying $80 a month. Maybe you're paying $100, $100 a month. Well, you don't have to pay that at a rec center. So you're going to find people that are looking for a more frugal rate there versus people who have a different type of cash flow, and they're going to gyms for different reasons versus going to a rec center. So then you can position yourself, switch your gym that you go to. Okay, or maybe you have to start doing something new. Do something new. Okay, so I have a public speaking coach. Okay, so I train with my public speaker or whatever, but I also got involved with Toastmasters. And, if you're from the U.S., I'm not sure how it works international or globally, but I know here in the U.S., we have Toastmasters everywhere. Okay, so I know when I'm in Toastmasters, I'm going to meet an array of people who are engaged or into being in the public eye, or into speaking at conferences, or speaking at different or speaking at different events. Okay, those are ways to network on something that is connecting with you, that's good with you. So when you start to do these things and change where you go, just a little bit, how you do things, where you do things, when you do things, be very particular about the way you do things. Be very intentional. I am very, very, very intentional about everything that I do, including the way that I dress. Everybody doesn't have that strong fashion sense, but get to that point where you're intentional about everything that you do. Even when I have a conversation with a person, I'm having a conversation with them for a reason, an intentional reason. Normally for me, it's because, okay, well, I'm getting some information out of this that I need, or I need to see where their mind at so I can see what information I need to give them to tweak that or to get them to a better position. Or maybe it's something, whatever it is, I'm very intentional about it. There's nothing I can really say that I do that I just do for no reason. Everything that I do is for a reason. It's to move towards some type of goal or some type of purpose. And that's how every business person that I know, that's how they are. They're purposeful about the things that they do. They're intentional about the things that they do. It's not, oh, I just tried it because, or I forgot, or I wasn't paying attention, or I just, not saying that they can't do those things, but for the most part, anything my family members, they come and ask me, anything that I list off, I can tell you why I did it. Can you say, if you look at everything that you did out through this week, do you know why you did everything? Or was some of the things kind of like, well, I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Or I don't know. You should know. So become intentional. Because when you become intentional about it and you have a thought behind it and you have like kind of an expectation, it draws it to you at the same time. So don't think just because you're doing these things that it's all your work and it's just you by yourself. There's a greater power behind that. And that mental thing, it is so connected to God. It is so connected to his spiritual laws. So if you know I'm going to, the library because I want to meet people who are extremely hungry for knowledge, or people who just love to, read and expand their perceptions, or whatever reason you go to the library, go expecting to get or run into the very thing that's the reason why you're going there for. Look for that. Look for that. There's not anything, if I say, okay, I'm going to eat at 4-star restaurants all this week, or 5-star restaurants all this week, I'm not just eating at 5-star restaurant. Well, I can't say that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll go to a high-end restaurant because that's just how I like to eat. And coming from Las Vegas, we have so much chef-made gourmet food. Like anytime you go anywhere else, you're always going to automatically compare it. Because, hey, Vegas, we have some of the best chefs here. So, yeah. But a lot of times I go to those high-end restaurants. And, of course, you're going to meet people with money there. Because that's how their budget is. That's how they eat. That's how they live. Not everybody, but the type of people, whoever you interact with, whether you're at the bar or you're at your table, the people that are in there gonna have money, So when you position yourself, understand what you're positioning yourself in. So if all I do or all you do is go to all the places that connect with what's in your core, with who you are, then you're going to meet those same kind of people. And if you've changed some things about your character, you've changed some things about the way you think, the way you do things, the way you dress, then expect something different. You're going to meet a guy in that environment. That's where you're going to meet the guy in that environment, if that's what you're looking for. But if you're still into going to the clubs and we gon' club, well, guess what you're going to meet at the club? While you pop, what you going to meet at the club? Okay? Or you're on Plenty of Fish or whatever. You got a slim chance. But if your everyday is what is riding and burning inside of you, which is all about your passions. All about your passions. It puts you in a position to flourish, to completely flourish and grow. So what are your things? What are your things that you need to change and reposition the circle of people that are around you? Because you heard me say this a million times, but I'm going to say it again. Who you hang around is going to be who you are, who you become. Who do you hang around? Is it all people that just sit around and talk about a bunch of foolishness? And all that foolish talk that y'all just did, and none of it brought you no money or paid you no bills or giving you no greater knowledge to move you forward in the direction that you want to go in, or the direction that God has planned for you to go in? Are you talking to people and all they talk about is sex? All they talk about is how they can get over on something, on somebody. All they talk about is how they can't do this, they can't do that, or you can't do that, and you can't do. Who are you hanging around? Because that's what's circulating in your mind. That's what's circulating in your atmosphere. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. So if you need to do some pruning and some pushing back, and trust me, they talk about you, because I can tell you, I got talked about. I got talked about. Oh, she thinks she bougie. Oh, she thinks she all that. Oh, you left. You leaving? You left the hood? They gonna take your hood car? It was so many things. But you have to make a choice and a decision. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you, nobody's paying my bills. Nobody's taking Shema shopping. Nobody's helping pay on my daughter's college tuition. None of that. So the people that you're trying to impress, or you're trying not to offend, what are they doing that's so beneficial to you and your life and the life of your family that you would allow that to hold you back? What is that? Because at the end of the day, I think we all know, when hits the fan and you behind closed doors and ain't nobody but you, and it's you crying them tears. It's you worrying and stressing. How am I going to get this done? How am I going to make this work? It ain't nobody else there. It's you. And I've been there. So I know for me, when I got to that point and I realized nobody's there, I don't care what you say. And not to be rude with it, but I'm like, I love you, we cool, but I have to do this. And a lot of times when God is calling you out, apart from the rest, it's a lonely walk. It can be a lonely walk, especially when he begins to put that work in on you. And he begins to pull things out of you and introduce new things to you. That's a whole mental energy process, okay? But if you're strong enough to go through that process faithfully, you have no choice but to see something different. If you want something different, you can't keep doing the same things you've been doing all the time. Okay, example, like this bottle of water. Okay, you just take the top off and drink it. And that's the way you drink it every time, right? That's the way you drink it every time. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Okay? Some people don't like drinking out of plastic because it has plastics in it, and plastic floats around in your blood, and people don't like drinking out of plastic. But for those who don't like drinking out of plastic, you can't just keep doing this thinking that this is going to change into a glass. You're going to have to do something different. And if you don't, you never get nothing different. You're going to get this every time. But if you want something different, you're going to have to learn how to do this into a glass. You're going to have to learn how to do that. If you can't learn to do that one simple step, you're going to keep drinking this water in this plastic that's going to be floating around in your blood until you learn how to do this. It looks simple, but it's painful. It can be lonely. But it boils down to, how bad do you want the change? How bad do you want the change? How bad do you want something different in your life? How long are you going to continue to wait and procrastinate and make excuses? Because another year is going to pass. Another year is going to pass. Another year is going to pass. And you still going to be there because you ain't did nothing different. Ain't did nothing different. So, yeah. Step out on faith. Start trying to do something. Start to do something different. Contact me. Subscribe here. Follow your girl. And, yeah, subscribe and follow me on that. If you can get in on the coaching, I would encourage you, please get in on the coaching. Soon I'm going to be making some changes as well, but I'll update you guys on the changes a little later. Well, I can't just say that and leave you hanging, right? So I am going to do some changing, just because, the one-on-one coaching, is getting a little, I'll say, a lot of work. It's more individuals versus the group coaching. And so I think what I am going to do is move more into speaking engagements, where I just do speaking engagements, and anyone who wants to do the one-on-one, my prices are going to increase and go up. So if you want to get in on the coaching before all of that is implemented, I encourage you to do so. So again, how to meet that guy that you want. It's all about the mindset. It's all about changing habits. It's all about the same thing that I've been saying over these past couple of years. Getting your femininity down, understanding a man, the true nature of a man, understanding your own flaws and faults, how to change and turn things, even building your business mindset, your finances, becoming an asset, and so position yourself in different places. I'm into so many things, from singing to acting to coaching to nursing to nail tech to businesswoman I have so many irons in the flame. So sometimes I could be so busy working that I never leave my house. Like you see me dressed up now, that's only because I just came from Cat Williams comedy show, Cat Williams. And so I had the opportunity to put on clothes and dress up and all that there. Okay, so, but even with that, so my events that I go to, I didn't do it with the Cat Williams tonight, but normally if I go to an event, I'm VIP. I pay for the VIP because I don't like, and that's not, don't take this the wrong way or personal, but I don't like sitting with a lot of people around me. And so even that, when you sit in VIP, again, you already know what type of people you probably going to be sitting with in VIP. Unless you get the double VIP. Then you definitely know where you're sitting. So even with me transitioning more and more just to VIP, just strictly only VIP, double VIP. That's it. Now that's just a small change that I'm making. Just a small change. That's it. And like I said, public speaking, With Toastmasters. Dancer. I love dancing in my dance community. So I mix up my dance community. It may not always be swing dancing. And sometimes, and don't y'all go there. Sometimes I might be in pole dancing, sexy stiletto. Sometimes it's bachata. Sometimes it's kizomba. You know what I'm saying? Whatever dance. I mix up my dancing classes. And even if you want to upgrade that, okay, well, look for the more premier dance classes. Where are you going to find more premier dancers? Okay, acting. Where do of course I get involved with the things that go on with the acting. So just position yourself in those things. Is it painting? Is it manual labor? Because there are groups everywhere. You can find groups on Facebook. You can find these things. So begin to position your life as you begin to step into who you really are by the activities and the hobbies that you do and you get involved in. That is who you truly are. And those are the circles that you want to meet your mate in. Those are the circles that you want to meet your man in. Now, do you have to? No. He could be completely on the green side and you could be completely on the yellow side, or whatever differential colors you want to use. Okay, he could be all the way on the right, you could be all the way on the left. If you can make it work, that's fine. But for the most part, if you don't have a man and you want that man that's going to fit who you are becoming, begin to position yourself in those different places. Make those little changes. Makes little churches. Well, I never go to the horse tracks. Well, I go now. And guess who I met there? Oh, well, who are you looking for? Because they probably hang out over there. And if that's what you want, do you fit that environment? And if you don't, what are you going to do? Because you got a choice. You keep this environment or you get this one. You can't keep doing this and think you're going to get this. It don't work that way. It does not work that way. It's all about knowledge and what you have upstairs. So those are some little things and tips that you can take to begin positioning yourself to meet that guy and, working on some other things. So hit your girl up. Shema Ladd, premarital personal development life coach. And yeah, I had a great time with Cat Williams comedy show tonight. It was funny, it was good, and I had a great time. So if you see him, World War III tour. His World War III tour. It was good. Go check it out. And this is your girl Shema. And I will see you guys on the next video. Love you much. Peace and bye.